Hello and welcome to my first episode of Souls Remastered. This is a game series I've been playing for a very long time, and it's something very close to my heart, so I figured it'd be the best way to start a new channel. Well, not a new channel, but the channel's... best way to start a channel that makes making actual content, I mean. Silver ponytail. Yeah, alright.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
I have not watched that since my first playthrough. But, it's nice to be playing again. Dark Souls 1 is one of the first difficult games I've ever played. Because I didn't grow up with the Xbox or PS3, I grew up with a Wii. And for the most part, the games I liked were Kirby and Mario Galaxy. I still love Mario Galaxy, that game's awesome. But when my friend ended up moving away, not too far away, but far enough away that it was harder for us to get in contact with each other, he gifted me his old Xbox 360. Of course, he only gifted me the console, and as such, the console rested in my basement for many years, simply because it had nowhere to go and no use, because it was just a glorified plastic box without any corners. Many years later, maybe 4 or 5, I ended up getting the cords from a local GameStop. I just went in, bought the cords, and went back home. Of course, it was kind of a weird request. Got weird books. But the console, the 360 as a whole, it didn't have an eject button. It didn't do too great. And, so I had to use a pencil to get the eject button out. And when I did, I put in the copy of Left 4 Dead 2 I had bought, and played that almost all night, because the online scene for Left 4 Dead 2 on the Xbox 360 is still very active. I was very surprised. And,
regrettably, but
anyway, after playing that for maybe 2 days, I got bored and decided to see what was on my friend's Xbox, because I had remembered his password, because when he had first gotten it and was setting up an Xbox Live account, he had decided to let me help with his password. And I remembered it. I remembered his password, and I used that to get to his apparently lifetime Xbox Live account. Xbox Gold, I should say. But, yeah, and I used that to be able to see what games he had on this arcade. And one of the games he had, just downloaded on his console, was Dark Souls Remastered. Not Remastered, no. Just regular old Dark Souls 1. And I had heard about it a lot before. Mostly bad things, but enough good things to make me curious. So I decided to boot it up, and it was a lot of fun. I had beaten... It didn't take very long for me to beat the starting game. Of course, like every new player, I tried to fight the Assassin Demon with the broken straight sword. Not broken straight, the hilt. And, of course, for like everybody else, it didn't go very well. I ended up getting beat into the dirt so bad, it wasn't even funny. Yeah, it's kind of funny. And I used this experience to... Well, I didn't use it for anything, really. I just kind of ran away, and that ended up being the right idea. So, as I progressed through the game, I noticed that it wasn't like games I had played before. Most games I had played, it was 3 hits, you're done, with healing items all over the place. And you could easily dodge everything by just moving a little bit to the left. But Dark Souls was different. It didn't let you run away forever and heal like the other games did. It didn't give you infinite ways to heal like other games did. I was stuck there with my stick, because I chose Deprived. I don't know why I chose Deprived. I chose Deprived for my first playthrough. So I was there, clutching my stick, getting beaten on every corner. And the game as a whole was just a wonderful experience. It was the first game to be truly difficult for me, just based on its merit of not pulling any punches. And of course, I very much so appreciated that. It was, well, no, I didn't, not at the time. But as I played through the game, I had a lot more fun up until Quelaag. Because until Quelaag, I had not faced any adversity. But as soon as I got to Quelaag, I lost easily 15 to 20 times in a row. And I gave up. For 3 months, I never played Dark Souls, simply because it was too hard. But after that 3 months, I decided to... I saw the game in the arcade again when I was looking for something else to play. I decided to give it one more shot. see if I liked it. Give it one last try. And it was fantastic. I beat Quelaag in about 2 tries. Simply because I came back with calm mind and relaxed feelings. So it was great. And my friend Dat Boy John, he's on YouTube. Go check him out. Pretty funny content. He started to try and make more friends, but not me, because he's a lot more socially adept than I am. Of course, I'm making YouTube videos, so I must have some sort of deal with my social life. That doesn't mean anything, but he ended up introducing me to my other friend named Vendetta. And these people have become my best friends ever. They have been my friends for, I want to say, 3 or 4 years at this point. So based on the merit that we all got along and enjoyed the same games, so we decided to give a try to play games with each other. And it was one of the best choices I have ever made. And now I have friends that I plan to stick with for the rest of my life. And of course, we've had our ups and downs. There's been times that we don't see eye to eye. But if you really care about somebody, then the arguments won't matter as much as how much you just appreciate them as a person and how much they are willing to do for you. Now, every Christmas and summer, I like to give things away. I'm very generous as a person, and have easily spent somewhere in the 200 or 300 range on both my friends, just giving them games, because I want them to be able to enjoy what I enjoy. Neither of them have taken as much of a shine to the Dark Souls series as I have. Of course, they both found games that worked for them. Like, John, he found much enjoyment just playing games like, he enjoyed Dark Souls 3. He beat Dark Souls 3, and later on, we beat Elden Ring. My friend, Vendetta, he never really came for the Souls series. But we did play a good chunk of Dark Souls 2, of all things. We got to about the point of the first encounter with Nishandra, but then after that, he ended up losing interest. But then he also ended up beating Dark Souls 3. So I guess Dark Souls 3 is just the best one for people that don't know what they want yet. Maybe because of the smoother animations, but I don't know. But the games that we played together first, well, it was, of all games, it was Fortnite. Fortnite was the game that we all started together. Of course, I got to a bit late because I didn't get a computer until, I think, 2020. But I had gotten a Switch in 2019. And of course, the Switch was my intro to Fortnite, just because, of course, Epic had put it on the Switch. And we played that. We played that a lot. So far, my favorite season overall, Chapter 2, Season 2. Spy Season was the best. And it was the longest, which makes me very happy. And throughout the years of being friends, we have made so many memories. Memories I would not trade for anything. Probably. I don't know, maybe I'll get a really good offer someday. But we would always seek each other out. And, of course, first we started just as a group. Just me, Vendetta, and John. Just fighting whoever, wherever, whenever. But as time went on, we started playing with each other differently. That sounds kind of weird, but like we made connections with each other. Instead of just somebody to play with, it was somebody to talk to. And after somebody to talk to, became somebody to confide in. And these people have changed my life forever. And I am so glad it happened. Let me know what you're thankful for. Because my friends, my family, are people that I cherish. I love them. And I wouldn't want to lose them. That sounds kind of weird. But I hope you understand what I'm saying. I value those close to me. Nice. Instance refilled. Got turned into this fleshy monster. And now I'm ready to fight the Taurus Demon. The other games I'd like to play are generally TF2, Left 4 Dead. There's a crack in the model. There's a crack in the textures right there. Huh. But I like the Valve games. Garden Warfare, one on the 360, was one of my favorite games. It was awesome. I miss it. I wish it was more popular. Because maybe if I get big enough and this word the word gets out, maybe we'll get more popular. But that won't happen. To all those people that are currently watching, thank you. It means a lot. And people caring, I guess, or I guess showing interest at all in what I do, it makes me happy. I wonder how he feels just with every enemy he fights in this being at smack level with his nutsack. Just sorry if the quality on the video isn't the best. I don't have the money right now to get everything in order. I have a hand-me-down mic, a hand-me-down mouse. The headphones are very nice. My sister got me them for my graduation. But yeah. I'm using an old TV as my monitor right now. I pulled the thing out of the basement. Still kind of dusty. Damn, that's gonna be the weapon. Okay. But yeah. I'm very happy with what I have. I currently have I think it's an Omen? Yeah, I got an Omen computer. And it was a gift from my mother. Because I had bought a GPU when Elden Ring had released. I bought a GPU and tried to install it on my old computer. And it didn't fit. Simply because my computer, it was an upgraded office PC. So it didn't really have room for a graphics card. And it ruined me for about a month. I tried to get back into the swing. I wasn't depressed, it wasn't anything like that. But it was very much so just being very sad. And it put me in a funk. I could barely function just because it was all of my money that I had put into that. Just because I really wanted to play Elden Ring. Because my friend, the one who had beaten it, bought Elden Ring simply to play with me right after beating Dark Souls 3. Because he very much so enjoyed Dark Souls 3. We beat it in, I think, a week. Not the DLCs yet, though. He has to do that still. But when I had told my mom about that it didn't work. Well, at first it was just kind of tough shit, but she was one day she came by my room, had me do some stuff, and then at the end of that, she gave me a budget. And this PC was within that budget. And I was never happier, I don't think, than when I had gotten that PC. Simply because I was finally able to do so much that I had been waiting to do for several, I think it was like about a year at that point, just because waiting for Elden Ring to come out, and then being at the bare minimum requirements, but then turns out the bare minimum were wrong, and it was very upsetting. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful for my mom. I'm very thankful for her and the morals she instilled into me, because I like to think I'm a very generous person. I gift games. Like, I gifted both my friends the entire Dark Souls series, simply because I liked it and hoped that they would. And they did. Well, some of it anyway. Just Dark Souls 3, like I had said, but... So, one day, me and my friends, we were playing Fortnite, just because free, accessible, all that happy jazz. And we had decided to try and do a challenge. Nothing that we had seen on YouTube or anything, but we did it. We called it Glock a Clock, of all things. Just because it was easy to say, rolled off the tongue. And it was just stupid fun for the three of us. So we all got like 4 or 5 pistols, and we just called it Glock a Clock. And just rolled up on every squad we could and just unloaded all of their clips. And it worked surprisingly well. Not saying it worked well. It worked better than we thought it would. But that's not saying much considering we thought it wouldn't work. Another thing that we did was we had played... Me and my friend Benetta. This is just us two. We had played some zombies. Just Black Ops 2 zombies. And my friend just decided to record it. Now, the video wasn't exceptional or anything, but it was a fun video for me and my friend. So because it was a time capsule for the fun we had. Damn it! Fucking god damn it. That video is one of his best performing videos, but that's not saying much because it only has about 66 views, I think. But anyway, we played Black Ops, and of course I wasn't very good at it. And not only that, but he made me open every door. I didn't have points to open every door. That's not the point. Point is, it was a very fun night. And later on, not that night, but several days, maybe even like a few weeks later, we got on our Wii's and played very laggy Kirby's Return to Dreamland. And it was so much fun. We only made it to about World 2, but we had so much fun playing it. Oh, the way that we had met was... So first, John and Vendetta had met. They met through a now defunct app called Moot, I think. Yeah, I think so. Which was, I think, was for finding a gaming partner. And they had found each other. So they talked, played a few matches, and kept each other added on Discord. Eventually they started playing more and more together. And then John decided to introduce him to me. And it was awesome. We hit it off, and we all just talked. We played together almost every day. But yeah, it turned from somebody to play with, somebody to talk to, and then just a full-on friend. Every day, we would get together, me on my Switch, and them on their computers, and we'd play for hours. and it's something that I've come to very much so appreciate, that the time spent with them is time I wouldn't want to trade for the world. No, maybe I would. Oh, this. I want to trade it for, I don't know, any monetary value. I don't know how to do this. Sorry for being so awkward. This is still my first video, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. But I hope this content is enjoyable, and I hope this is something that you would come back to. Because it makes me happy to attempt to make content. Just because it looks like so much fun. And I'd love to build a career off it, because that looks really easy. Of course, the editing will be difficult. And of course, the expectations of the viewer base will be hard to manage as well. But no matter what happens, I just hope that I am able to make you guys happy. I hope it'll make myself happy. And I'm hoping that this just becomes another way for me to be able to buy things for people to make them that much happier as well. I'm probably going to end this episode at the gargoyles. Not at the gargoyles, but after the gargoyles. Simply because I don't want the videos to get too long. Because I don't know how much of this will be edited out. Of course, I'll probably do one of them blooper reels at the end. But I don't know if there will be any bloopers because I got the intro pretty fast. But my first playthrough of Dark Souls, I messed up quite bad. I had ended up using that Firekeeper soul over there as a humanity sprite, and used it to gain the 5 humanity and kindle some bonfires. Of course, that's not the best idea, but being a new player, I didn't know that. So, I used it, and I used every subsequent Firekeeper soul I had found as well. And only when I got to the end of Anor Londo did I realize what they actually did. So I had, like, this is after Anastasia had died, the Firelink Keeper, and I had been misinformed and told that any Firekeeper soul would revive her. So I killed the Anor Londo bonfire, the Firekeeper in Anor Londo, and also Quaylana, I think? Not a Quaylith. But yeah, and at that point I had realized that it was fucked. I couldn't do anything. The world was so messed up. So I went back. I restarted entirely. After all the struggling with Quelaag, the 3 months I took off, then went back to it, I restarted. The second playthrough, everything was so much easier. Except for Quelaag again. Quelaag was still a pain. But, of course, it was nothing I couldn't handle. After about a month. About a month, I was back to where I had started. I was back to Anor Londo, with everything done supposedly right this time. And from that point, I beat the game. It wasn't very difficult. Well, it was difficult, but it wasn't as bad the second time around. The first playthrough didn't go great, but second playthrough, if you're looking at it from playthrough like as to finish, start to finish, then first playthrough was all right. Half playthrough didn't go that well. I get the thing? Don't get the thing. Okay. So as you can probably tell, I'm quite rusty at this game. But, you know, whatever. Things happen. When I was in a very bad place, I looked to comedy. Because I had read a book that I believe was called I Am Funny or something. And it was about this paralyzed kid becoming a comedian. and it had said that laughter is the best medicine, and I decided to hell with it and gave it a shot. And of course, the comedian that I had found was Gabriel Iglesias, and he's still one of the funniest comedians I've ever watched. I very much so appreciate Gabriel Iglesias, because, not to say he took me out of a bad episode, but his comedy was something that helped take my mind off it. So, you know, I always gotta appreciate that. Yeah. There we go. Fuck. What is all you're doing? I've always liked the design of the gargoyles. Like, they didn't have to go so detailed with the design of the first one, and how battle scarred the second one is. They could have easily just done not a palette swap. No, just like a copy paste. That's where it is. But they didn't, and the game is better for it. The depth of quality on this game is something. Oh God, that's different. But yeah. The game has been a great way for me to connect with people, and I found my way into many different communities for it, and I made more friends, just like I have made friends in TF2 and Left 4 Dead. Gaming as a whole is something that has helped me in very dark times, and hopefully this video will help other people in dark times. So, you know, do all that. Like, subscribe, let me know what you thought, what I can improve, and have a wonderful day.